But in terms of the operators and how they handle passengers in terms of the customer relationship, how would you assess it for now at this period?
You see, passenger handling has more to do with the airports, and that's why the airports are being improved. Some people argue that, the airports are being improved. No, it's not just about improving the airports. It's actually helping the airline to create a better travel experience. When you go abroad and you walk your way through the airports there, by the time you get to your seat, you are feeling good.
But here,
10 years ago, when you went through the Nigerian airports, for example, the Lagos, domestic airports that you could almost touch the roof and everything did not work. By the time you are seated, you are sweating, you are angry. Who do you take your anger out? It's the airline. But that is easing out now. And you must understand that this infrastructure were abandoned for a very long time. And with the population growth, a high appetite for air transport, no rail, no roads, air transport became the only way to travel.
Would you like to see more operators come in?
Would I like to? Certainly. And they will come in, because the more organized the industry gets, it becomes more attractive.
Sorry to cut you there, because we keep talking about passengers. Perhaps let's ask you this: how well have we been able to harness the cargo aspect of our air transport?
Cargo aspects domestic has not been properly organized in the past. But if you look at the program operated during the last minister's tenure, there was high emphasis on cargo. In fact, cargo terminals are being built in all the geopolitical zones in the country with a vision to drive agricultural products. You see, if a collaboration between the Ministry of Aviation and the Ministry of Agriculture working together bring about some integration for cargo, you will find that Nigeria will become a major exporter of fresh produce, because we have the capacity to produce it. And in addition, as a derivative of that, you're going to create more jobs that are aviation related. So it's a vision with the main cargo terminals being built now, and the intelligence, or what you can say, the software that will run it.
They're being built as we speak?
Yeah, they're all being built. They're close to commissioning. And by the time the intelligence to run it is now placed on top of it, you will see an improvement. Even food prices will come down within the country, because production will increase.
We got this question from Stephen Wabunsi, who says, come to think of it, do we really need an aviation minister? What do they do that the NCAA cannot handle?
You must understand, you need an aviation minister.
Why?
Because aviation policies need to be managed exclusively by somebody. Aviation is a means of economic development.
What's wrong with the NCAA?
The NCAA has a totally different function. The NCAA is a safety oversight implementing agency of government. The NCAA is a domestic organization, and I did explain that to you. You must have your national legislation. Then you have your operating regulations. You can get a consultant to write that for you. A consultant will write it for you. So, but how do you implement it in government? You now need a civil aviation authority that implements that. So a minister,
which can be the NCAA.
Yeah, that's what you call NCAA. NCAA is Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority. GCAA is Ghana Civil Aviation Authority. So you do need a civil aviation authority to perform the function of safety oversight, making sure both the national regulations and the operating regulations are implemented and they are enforced. Now, those are regulations. That's what the NCAA is all about. But when you want to consider policy, transportation policy, air transportation policy, you need to have a Ministry of Aviation to handle that.
Well, I go back to what Malcolm asked about what gives you worry, but now I think I'll turn it the other way. What gives you joy? From 10 years ago, you said there's been this plan to revamp our aviation sector, and you say there's been some relative changes. What exactly have you seen that you can say, well, I'm excited being in this industry?
I have seen a lot. First is the opportunity to actualize. I'm an aviation professional. I am the head of an airline in this country. I founded that airline. That's actualization. What more do you want to ask of government? Give us the space to operate. Now, and I'm not alone. There are many young men, women in the aviation industry actualizing. And it's not only about airlines. There are engineering companies, there are air traffic control specialists, there are catering. There are so many other areas, freight forwarding, that Nigerians are actualizing. The government gives you the opportunity to do that.
Let me put this question through. It comes from Free, so he says, more people have been flying over the years, yet airlines are folding up. What do you think is responsible?
Airlines are folding up because government is insisting on compliance. And people that cannot meet the required compliance level will fall out of the system.
If government is insisting on compliance, doesn't mean they've not been complying.
Don't go back to the dark ages.
No,
you see, there's been a revolution in aviation, and you must understand there is what you call the International Air Transport Assessment Program. No, that's the Association of Airlines, IATA. But the assessment, safety assessment program, which people call the FA categorization or the ICAO safety audits.
We're in category 1, right?
Yes, we're in category 1, and all these things did not exist many years ago when you could just buy an aircraft and come and start operation. But things have changed. Aircraft operation is more documentary now than it's operational.
How is the influx of private jets affecting the economy of the aviation sector?
The influx of private jets is positive, and it was a natural evolution because it's a lifestyle thing, where Nigeria is not a country that restricts you from actualizing yourself. So at some point, some people felt they needed their private transportation, and really the private jets are a tool for business. It's not all about luxury, it's a tool for business. So you will find in any society that the most affluent people tend to have time constraints, and in order to manage their time and travel time, they resort to private jets. So it's a good development.